Okay, good evening once again. Today we're going to be looking at the planning phase. One of the phases of corrective maintenance. We have already looked at the notification phase, where we said it's a phase where people report malfunctions on site or malfunctions on equipment. So once those malfunctions are reported, they are converted to a real work order, a real job. So until they are converted, those reports are just mere reports. They could be treated or they could be cancelled. So if they are not converted to a work order, then there's no go ahead to perform the task. So we did that and we went ahead to convert our malfunction reports to a work order. So in this phase, this lesson covers the planning phase in corrective cycle. In second phase, in the second, which is the second phase, you create orders and plan resources. Typical planning tasks include creating operations. These are the things you plan. Operations, reserving spare parts, or planning usage times. These are the things you plan in your work order. Operations, you reserve spare part, that is you order materials, and then you also plan the time you want to use. Internal or external planning. So in corrective maintenance, there are basically two options for assigning work to be performed. So you can assign to your internal work centers, that is the personnel, the maintenance personnel in-house that are trained to carry out those maintenance tasks. You can assign it to an external company who has the competence to carry out that task. Perhaps your company does not have the right personnel to carry out a particular task. So you can assign a particular task to an external vendor or external company to carry out the task. There you use a control key PMO3. We're going to see how this is done. So elements of maintenance orders. You will see the header. When you create a work order, it has a header. And inside the header, you have the following. Contains information that serves to identify and manage the maintenance orders, such as the number of the work order itself, the description of the problem, the type of the work order, the schedule dates, and priorities. This is what you will see in the header. Object list contains objects to be processed. So because you want to carry out maintenance on a particular functional location, maybe there are other sub-functional locations that may be affected as well. So those other functional locations that you want to treat at the same time, they are called object lists. Then operations are basically the activities that you are going to be carrying out during the maintenance. You are also going to specify them in the operation tab of your work order. We're going to see all of this. Then components. The component tab of a work order is where you have the materials. You specify your spare parts. You can also order your PRTs or production resource tools. This is depending on the type of task you want to carry out. Forklift, spanner, hammer, any tool that you will be requiring for this task is what is called production resource tool. So you can also order them in your work order. Settlement rule for the work order. Settlement rule here, how do you want to settle the cost of the maintenance? If the cost of the maintenance is 100 euro, is it only the maintenance department that will bear this cost, or there's another department using the equipment you are maintaining to share the cost with the maintenance department. So you create a settlement rule and share it in percentage. Then cost. The entire cost of the work order can be seen in the cost tab. So let's quickly go to the system and see what we're talking about. So last time we created some work orders. So first of all, the most important thing is to know how to search the work orders you have created in the system so you can plan them. So now you need to go through this part: logistics, plant maintenance, maintenance processing, then order. In this order folder, you will see there's a folder called order list. This has transactions that will help you search for your work order. If you want to search and make a change, you use IW38. If you want to just search and display, you use IW39. If you want to search using multi-level formats, you use IW40. So let's use IW38 and see how it's going to search our work orders. This is how IW38 looks like. It is like a form where you need to just fill some parameters that will help you retrieve your work order. You have some parameters that are date, some parameters that are status, order type. So if you click inside this order type, for example, you search, these are the different order types that we have. So if, for example, the order type you are looking for is maybe PMO2, for example. If you restrict it to PMO2, it means system will give you only PMO2 order types. If you want to add more order types, there is a button here called multiple selection. If you click on this button, the first one you added will be there. Then the subsequent ones can enter here. You can also add PMO1. You can also add PMO3. So you are searching for 3 work order types at the same time. After that, you click on this copy. And then there will be a green indicator here telling you that multiple selection is active, meaning there are some hidden stuff. So like this system will give you this type of work orders: PMO1, PMO2, PMO3. You can search using functional location. For example, the plant we are dealing with is Makurdi plant. So it means that every functional location in Makurdi plant must begin with Mark. So if you enter Mark star, it means you want to see work orders on all the functional locations in Makurdi plant. So any functional location that begins with Mark, system will bring out the work order. You can narrow down by all these material, serial number, work center. We have been using a work center test 001. We can search for it. This is always helpful, especially in a multi-trade environment. What do I mean by multi-trade? You have mechanical trade, you have electrical trade working in the same company. So every trade will come and search using their work center and get only work orders that are related to their work center, that are for them, because work center means workshop. It's like workshop or a group of people that are carrying out the maintenance task. So in the mechanical workshop, if I want to retrieve all the tasks that are meant for mechanical team, I will enter mechanical work center here, main work center. If I'm in electrical workshop and I want to retrieve jobs that are related to electrical, I will enter electrical main work center. I'm in instrument, I'll enter instrument. If I'm in utility, facility management, so in every organization, there are work centers because there are different people doing different kind of tasks. So work centers will be created according to the different threads that we have in the organization. So they can be able to search, everybody can search with their work center. We created one demo work center, test 001. So if, for example, I want to find the test 001, I'll enter my plant code 1000, then I will search. And I should be able to see my test 001 at the bottom. Where is our test 001? So if this is giving me too much information to manage, I can also filter this further. First, I will say I know that my main work center is in plant 1000. Description, I know it starts with test. So if I say test star, it should limit this to any work center that has test on it. And now I find my test so easily. I just double click on it. So if I want to also narrow down or restrict my search with a particular date, I can restrict it with a particular date. Okay, again, if I want to say, okay, I want only work orders entered by me, Paul, the main system will always respect to return only work orders that were entered by me. You want to also narrow down by date or by status, or you want to exclude the status, you can exclude the particular status. So say, give me work orders of this particular status except this particular status. So for example, if I search here, I will see statuses here. These are different statuses. So I want all work orders that are probably on MACM, material committed, meaning work orders that have materials in them. But I don't want to see a particular status. I will now put it under status exclusive. I don't want to see any work order on the status and mat, no material. So system will give me mark and exclude this, or system, you can decide to only enter nmat. So system will give you every other status except nmat because you put it under status exclusive. Then you have so many other parameters here that you can use to narrow down your search. So you can also save this as a variant so that you don't have to be doing this every time, since you are always running this report. Then once you are satisfied with your filter, you can go to save as variant, give it a variant name like test 3, test 3. Then you save. So system will save the variant, and when next you run this transaction, all you need to do is just to invoke the variant or call it here. Click on this symbol here. The variant created by Paul, yes. See what the variant I've created, test 2, test 3. So the one I just created now is test 3. If I double click on it, it will automatically populate this. So if you have populated so many things here, the variant is capable of updating the field, and then you can execute. So if there are work orders that satisfy this particular parameters, then the system will return the work order numbers. I want to delete everything here. I want to remove some of the restrictions. I just want to restrict by work center and plant. So I want all work orders in plant mark and work center test 001. So let's see how many work orders we have in the system so far. So this is the only work order available that satisfies that those parameters I provided. And the title of the work order is crane badly damaged. Work order has not been planned. Operations have not been entered. Components have not been entered. There's no cost, there's nothing. So this work order is not planned. So what we'll do is I would prefer us to create a new notification, convert it to a work order, and then plan the work order, right? So let's go to notification field folder, create. Let's create a malfunction report. Let's create a malfunction report, and let's call it because I'm always using crane because we have the structure for crane completed. Let me see again, IH01 Mac. Let's see if we have any equipment installed or BOM. Let's see. You can expand everything here at once by clicking on expand whole, so it will expand everything. So like this, I'm able to see that the crane structure is complete. It has equipment, it has construction type, it has materials and assemblies. And I'm also able to see that we have another equipment here with the water maker machine. Okay, so let me use this water maker. Oh no, okay, this water maker machine, it's okay, it's also a Mac plant, so cool, we can use it. All right, so the title will be damaged water maker machine. So we need to fix this problem. So we need to reference the functional location of the water maker machine or the equipment numbers. So it has an equipment number, so let's look for the equipment number. And here we need to ensure that under equipment description, we search water star maker star. You can even search with water. The only thing that can happen here is you may have plenty water. So anything that has water in it will just return. So if you don't want to manage this long list, then you can make your parameter more specific, water maker star. So this list will reduce. If not, return just that water maker. So this is your water maker and this is the equipment number. So you can select it and copy, or you double click. Then you press enter. Okay, I need to copy my description and enter here. So the moment you enter it, you see that it comes with this functional location. It comes with this main work center because this main work center is already in the master data of the equipment. So any other missing information, you can add it. Person responsible. You can add more details. I don't know. So you just try to put in something that your the person processing this will understand the cost of it. So I'll go to my reference object and enter the priority as high. Then system will calculate the start and finish date. Because this weather maker is broken down, is no longer working, I will select breakdown indicator. So this is fine. I can save my notification now. My system will generate a notification number for me, 1002167. So I'll quickly convert this. You know, these are things we've done before, but I just want to start from the beginning again so we can understand. So I will go back to call that notification in the change transaction, which is IW22. So system will remember the last notification that was created. Then you just press enter and the notification will open in change mode. So this, please see, a system will give you the timestamp, the date, the name of the person who entered this information, and you can't delete this information again. Okay, so let's convert this notification to a work order by hitting this button. Just continue. Now just enter system condition, not in operation, and I will save. I'll save my work order. So system has generated a work order number 8198880, save with notification 10002167. So there's a work order for this notification. Now you will see the work order number here. Now you can go into this work order now by clicking on that pen. You can go back into the notification. This is your notification appearing in your work order. The work order type is PM01, meaning malfunction breakdown work order. Then you can go back into your notification by clicking on this pen. You're back into your notification, and your notification type is M2. So we have notification type, we have work order type. So when you create an M2 notification, the way the system is configured is system will generate a work order PM01 for you. So there's a link between the notification type and the work order type. That can be done in configuration. We'll look at that much later. So now you have a brand new work order. No operations added, no components, no cost, nothing. So in the planning phase, which is what we're talking about, you are going to plan your work order either for internal processing or for external processing. Internal processing means your internal work centers are the ones that are going to handle the task. External processing means you are going to contract that job out to a company. The difference between these two is in the external processing, the work order will automatically generate a purchase requisition. And once the purchase requisition is generated, it goes to procurement, which will create, they will create a service order using that purchase requisition. But for internal processing, no need for the PR, the purchase requisition, to be generated. So let's go to work order operation. Because in planning a work order, let's go to our work order from the notification, or you can search for the work order using the work order search transaction IW38 or IW39. The two will do the same thing. The difference between 38 and 39 is 39 is just display. You can see it in display mode, while 38 will give you in change mode. So let's use 38 to search this work order we just created today. The work order is in plant mark and it is created today. So if you say created on the 28th, and you execute, system will bring the work order. So this is our work order, damaged water maker machine. So planners, those who are responsible for planning the work, planning the job, they search list of work orders in the system and they plan. Planning entails specifying operations that will be carried out to fix this water maker, materials that you will need, and so on. So let's start with operation. By default, system will copy the title of the work order as the first operation. So in this operation tab, we have operation numbers. Operation number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's written as 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. For each operation, you can assign a work center. It can be a different work center for different operations. Then you have to specify the plant where these work centers are. Then we'll have something here called control key. I mentioned this when I was reading this somewhere here using control key. Control key is used to determine whether the particular operation will be carried out internally or externally. So there's a special control key PMO3. Once it is active on a particular operation, it means that operation is going out to a company, an external company. But if you have a control key PMO1, then it means that your internal resources will handle the task. So here, by default, you have PMO1, 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 until you deliberately change the control key for a particular operation to be PMO3. So let's first define the operations. So to fix your water maker machine, the first operation is isolation. Isolation of electrical parts. The second operation is dismantling of damaged parts. The third operation is replacement of damaged parts. Then the last operation, let's say, is recoiling. Let's just assume it's recoiling. And this recoiling, we don't have the manpower to do this recoiling. Maybe we need to just recoil the machine or something close to that, or calibration. So this calibration operation, we don't even have the calibration machine, and we don't have, our personnel don't know how to carry out calibration. So we need an external vendor to carry out this task. Isolation of electrical part is obviously electrical department. So you are going to assign this task to electrical. So let's change the work center to electrical. So definitely electrical work center would have been created. I will look for any electrical work center that is available here in plant 1000. So this is electric maintenance. Dismantling the parts maybe is a task that will be done by mechanic. Mechanic will bring their screwdrivers and dismantle everything. The replacement will also be done by mechanic. Replacement of damaged parts will also be done by mechanic. Then this calibration now will be done by test 001. And test 001 is a work center that will supervise the external company. So the only difference is we'll change the control key for test 001 to become PMO3. Okay. So once you accept this, only the last operation has control key, meaning that once this work order is released, system will generate a purchase requisition for this operation. And the moment you assign control key PMO3 with the intention to give this task outside, you're going to maintain your services. You're going to specify what the external company is going to do, and you assign cost to each of the services that they will carry out. So you select this particular and click on external. Sorry. So when you click on external, it will take you straight to this, and you are going to maintain your services. Services here means the task that the external company is going to carry out. So let's divide those tasks into milestones or into different phases. You can say mobilization. That is, once the external company mobilizes to your site, the moment you see them mobilize with their tools on site, you are going to pay them an amount. AU means activity unit. One activity unit, which will cost €100. Then they will bring spare parts, or they will bring tools or equipment that you pay them for equipment that they will use to carry out this calibration. So you are paying them one activity unit worth €10,000. So at job completion, you are paying them one activity unit of what 30,000. So total is the sum of everything here. So what this vendor will gain for carrying out this calibration task, but you're not going to pay them at once. You're going to pay them this thing as they deliver a particular line of service. So these are lines of service, right? You don't want to pay them at once because mobilization will happen, then you pay them for equipment, then completion. So you have maintained your service lines. You can go back to your operation. So on this operation only, you have added your services, which you have also assigned cost and quantity to it. Also, you need to, for this internal, so we have 3 internal operations, 1, 2, 3, and 1 external operation. For the internal operation, you're going to plan hours. Hours we saw here is part of the things you need to plan. In the operation, you're going to plan. There's a place where that was mentioned. Can't remember where that was mentioned, but you are going to also plan hours, estimated hours that you will use to carry out this task. So in this part, you have work, you have unit, you have number of guys or packs. Then you also have duration, and you have also unit. So you're going to provide for each operation. For example, the first operation, 2 guys will carry out this isolation. The total duration will take them 4 hours. So because you already know number of guys and duration, if you ask system to calculate the work done, system will multiply this duration and the number of guys, and it will give you 8 here. So there's a control key here, calculation key here that you set. If you say calculate duration, and you press enter, system will calculate the duration. So on the second operation, dismantling will take 3 guys, and it will take them 6 hours. If you also set this on calculate duration and you press enter, system will calculate the total duration. Then on this third operation, you need 1 guy, and this guy will take 4 hours to do this replacement. You can also calculate work done. Sorry, calculate work done. So whichever one you select, if you say calculate duration, it means you already have the work and the number, so system will calculate duration for you. If you want to maintain everything manually, you select this. If you want to calculate the number of capacity, that means you have duration and you have work. So system will calculate what is missing. So you have assigned plan hours to this, each of the operations. You have also assigned, how do you call it, services to your external operation. I'll go back. Select it, click on external. You will see everything you have assigned. Yeah, let's go back. The next thing is components. We mentioned that component is something you need to also plan. And component simply means your spare parts, the spare parts you need for this job. So this job, looking at the operations, this is what a water maker machine that is damaged. So maybe there are some parts that you need to replace on this water maker. So you reserve the parts here. Click on component. Click inside the first component field. See, this is, you can assign as much as possible. So once you click inside the first one, come to the bottom and click on list. And this will take you straight to the structure of the equipment in question. Okay, so the equipment is water maker. So if water maker has already been structured properly and it has a bill of material, it has equipment number, bill of material, then now system will take you straight to that structure. So if I click on list, first it will ask you which operation are you ordering this material for. So we'll have operations here to dismantle, replace. So let's order this material for the replacement operation. So once system asks us for the operation, we enter operation 30. List. If you type 30 here, you are good, or you can select from the list or the operation list. Just double click on this replace. And then system takes you straight to what? The water maker. If I go levels above, I will see the functional location of the water maker. I will see the equipment of the water maker. I will see the construction type. Then if I expand it, I will see the assembly. So don't mind the mix up here, because it looks like we'll call this water maker, but it's actually the crane. So let's just assume that these are spare parts for the water maker. But in real sense, this should be the assemblies for the water maker, and this should also be the construction type for the water maker. So whatever you prepare in the structure, that's what you will see here actually. So it means that on the water maker we have 3 very significant parts. There's a part called this, another part called this. So the part that is damaged is actually this first one. So all the spare parts, the possible spare part that could have damaged on that water maker is any of these ones. Like I said, don't get confused with the fact that you're seeing lever hook here. This was a poor job we did on the water maker. So, but let's just utilize the material number and forge ahead. So let's assume the third material is what we want to replace on the water maker machine. So you double click on it and the material will be added. to your work order. If you need another material, you go to the second line, click on the list, select the operation, double click on it, then pick maybe this jack. So now you have two materials. Now in these two materials, one is a non-stock and the other is a stock. So the way system will treat a non-stock and a stock item is different. For stock item, system will generate a PR if the material is not available in stock. So immediately the PR will go to procurement and procurement will buy it, then supply to the people handling this job. But for a stock material, meaning that this material is stored, so system will just generate a reservation for it. A reservation will go to warehouse and warehouse will prepare the material. Whenever you bring the evidence that this work order is approved, warehouse will give you your material. That's why you can see for the non-stock is showing purchase requisition for order. The stock is reservation for order. So now we have prepared the operation and we have added the spare part. Then we can save our work order. Let's click, don't mind the error. Continue. Our work order is saved. So let me copy this work order number and open it in change mode. Since I already have my work order, I can go to work order and run the transaction IW32 to change it. So system will even remember the last work order. I'll just press enter and I'm back into this work order. So currently our work order is just created, it's not yet released. You can know what those statuses stand for, right? Material availability not checked. So you can carry out material availability just to be sure if those materials you added are in stock. Non-availability of material. So meaning these materials are not available in stock. System has checked the stock and have seen that the materials are not available. You can also double click on the material, the stock item, go to environment, stock overview, and you see that unrestricted use is 0. This is where quantities available will show. This one here shows the quantity you have ordered, that somebody has reserved one piece. So this material is not available. So so the next thing is to approve this work order so that it will generate purchase requisition for this external operation and another purchase requisition for this this non-stock material. So how do you approve your work order? The button here, the green button here, release. If you click it, it's going to release this work order and you see the release status will appear. See, REL, then you save. Your work order is now released. So this release button, not everybody in the organization has the authorization to release the work order because it's a very high profile authorization and it's given to very high profile people, management particularly. So if you don't have authorization and you hit the release button, the system will tell you you are not authorized. So now let's go and check the PR that is generated. Select this external operation. By reason of this PMO3, click on external, then go to this act data. If you click on it, you will see that there's a purchase requisition that is generated. So this purchase requisition, if procurement guys, they search it at their end, they will see it. For example, if I run the material management transaction to search for purchase requisition ME5A. Yeah, so this is list display of purchase requisitions. So I just want to filter this so I can get this purchase requisition just created. So I want to filter by date. Requisition date. Yeah. So if I enter today's date, then if I execute, system will see the requisition that is generated. So this is what the people on their own side, sorry, the procurement people, of course, they are people. They are just waiting for people to generate PR so that they can convert the PRs to purchase order and give to vendor. You can see this is the PR that was generated from our work order. Let's go back to our work order, our PR 10016.053. 10016.053. And the title of the PR is calibration. It's picking this title from the work order operation description, calibration. So it's picking that title from the work order operation description. Then the next thing is I can open this PR. So because it is the same work order that is requesting for service, and also the same work order that has a non-stock item, system has grouped these two in one PR. So if you go to the component side and you also run a check on these two components, you can see this is the first component, which is the sling, which is the non-stock. So if you go to purchasing, you will see a purchase requisition. This is the same purchase requisition. But if you go to the second material, let me select the two of them so we can use, let's go to general data. So this is the first material, sling. And this sling is a non-stock and it has a PR. If you go to purchasing, you will see the PR and it's PR on line 20. Then if you click next, it brings the next material, sorry. Why is it not? Okay, this is the next material is jack. And jack is a stock material. So you can't even see purchasing data here. There's no purchasing tab here to even find the PR. This is what I'm talking about. If you go to there's a mandatory field here that is disturbing. Okay, so if you go to non-stock, you will see purchasing data. And inside the purchasing data, you see the PR. But if you go to the stock, purchasing data will disappear, meaning there's no need for PR for this one. So because it's the same work order that is generating it, this system is configured such that it will group the two requirements, service and material, in one purchase requisition. So the difference is this item category. What is item category D? D stands for service. And you can see D only appears on the first line. So this is not your headache. It's the headache of the procurement people. The second one is a material, it's empty. There's no item category, it's standard. So you can use this PR to create a service PO and also a material PO. So once you create that PO, you can issue it to the vendor. So let me just try to create a PO on this PR quickly so you can see how a PO is created. So I'll copy this PR number and I'll go out and I'll launch the transaction code for PO creation ME21N. So this is create purchase order transaction. So I'll on document overview so that I can be able to query my PR. Yeah, my PR is already here. Then I will just click on execute. Sorry. There's something blocking it, this material. I'll remove the material. And then so my PR now appears in the body of the PO in my document overview section. So all I need to do is just to select this PR and copy or adopt. If I adopt, everything inside this PR will move into the PO. But I understand that we have two line items in this PR. The first line is the service and the second line is the material. So I want to create a PO for service and later I will create a PO for material. So I'll select only the line 10 and I'll adopt. So now line 10 is moved into my PO here. So I need to add the vendor that would provide this service. So vendor by plant. So I can select a vendor within my plant. Or okay, my purchasing group is purchasing organization is also okay. So all these vendors are within my purchasing organization. I can select any of them. For example, this guy. One second. Okay, my work order is still open. That's why it's not allowing me to move forward. So I'll close the work order. I can't open two documents at the same time because this PR I'm treating is in the work order. So let's see. Yeah, everything is fine. This is my vendor. This is my the copied information from the PR. And if I go to the services, I will see automatically my services are copied into this PO. So once I'm satisfied, and you can see the total value of my PO is 41,000 euro because it's a sum of everything here. Okay, then I can now save. So my PO is saved. This is my PO number. So what has happened here is procurement has converted the PR that was triggered from the work order into a kind of document that can invite a vendor to come and carry out the task. Because for a vendor to come and work in the company, they need a PO. So this PO is created. Let's go back into this PO just to display it. So you can see that is a true PO. This is our PO that we just created. So I'll click on print preview. And you see the PO document with every information inside the PO. So the global title is calibration. Total amount is 41,000 euro. Then this is the service breakdown, mobilization, equipment, and completion. So the vendor will see all these things inside their PO with the respective costs before they can come and honor the request to carry out a task. So that's what happens to your external service. Then it's also procurement can also create another PO for the material that is a non-stock because the PR also contains the material. So ME21N And I'll also search for my PR again. This is my PR. I'll execute it to come here. Then I'll expand it and select line 20, which I know is the material. So if I adopt the data of the material, this is the material number, this is the material description. I'll also assign the vendor. Then I'll assign quantity of the material that I want the vendor to supply, maybe 5. Then the net price is 100 euro. And my PO is ready. Once it turns to this amber triangle, it means PO is ready. So I can save. So my second PO number is this. And this PO number is for the material. So I go back into the PO and I can review it. So in this case, it's just a PO for procurement of the sling. This is the sling number, this is the quantity, and this is the amount. So total gross price is 500 euro. I'll print this PO and I'll give to the vendor. This means that there's a legal agreement between the company and the vendor. So that's what happens at the procurement side. So let's come back to our work order. Just by creating this operation, maintaining services and control key for this operation, you see it triggered a purchase requisition that was sent to procurement. And now procurement, it means procurement have task to carry out. The task is to create PO and engage a vendor. So you as a maintenance person, you don't have any business with that, but you can follow up what is happening at that side, because you in the document you also have it in your work order. Anytime you want to see your PR, you select this line, external, go to Arc Data, and you see your PR. Okay, you can open your PR by double clicking on it. This is your PR. And while you are inside your PR, you can see your PO under status. This is your PO. So you can open this PO and track it, whether vendor has delivered the service or delivered the material. This one is for service. So you can see you ordered service worth 41,000. Delivered is 0, meaning that vendor has not yet delivered. So you are able to track what is happening at the procurement side, even as a maintenance person. If the moment the vendor delivers that service, if you track, you will see it that the value delivered will be showing. So the value delivered will be showing here. So if, for example, the vendor deliver only the first service, which is worth 100,000, which is worth 1,000 mobilization, you will know, because the value of the delivery will be showing 1,000. Okay, for example, let me just do a delivery. How we record delivery. Please don't worry so much about this part, because I just want you to understand the holistic process, even what is happening at the MM side. But this will just be for your information. If you want to still learn it, not a problem. I will just try to deliver that mobilization, and then we'll see. So to deliver mobilization, I will need this PO number. So let me go all out of my work order. So for service, delivery is recorded using SCS. SCS is called Service Entry Sheet. When it's material, delivery is done using GR. GR means whose receipts. So it's a process. So the delivery I'm doing, the 1,000 delivery is mobilization, so it's service. So I'll use service entry sheet. ML81N is a transaction code for entering service entry sheet. ML81N. You can also see it in the path under material management. You can see it somewhere. Services. Okay, service entry sheet is here. ML81N. So once you click on this, you will enter the purchase order that you want to record delivery on here. So your purchase order is entered. The next thing you click on create, and you call this short text is mobilization. You want to deliver mobilization. And then the next thing you're going to do is you will go and select the mobilization here. Select service selection. Continue. You will see all the services here. So you have to select mobilization. It will be only mobilization worth €1,000. Then you can accept your service and save. So we're having issue of how do you call it? Posting period in this August. Okay, so let's take it back to August and see. You need to go and open this period, else you need to take it back to August. So now you accept. The problem. There's a big problem. There's a config issue. I don't have energy for that thing now. So there's a big issue. There's a number range issue. You need to go back and create a number range for this object that is about to be generated before you can proceed. There's no number range existing. It will take me time, please. So this is where I will stop on this one. So, but the most important thing is supposing this SCS was successful, then it would have recorded a delivery of 1,000 against your purchase order. Meaning if you open the purchase order and you go to status, you'll see that here will reduce to 40 and here will be recorded 1,000. So you know that, okay, a particular service has been delivered. You can know the service if you open services. The service worth 1,000 is mobilization. So you as a maintenance person, you will now know that the vendor has mobilized to site. If equipment is paid for, you will also see it under status. If the entire PO is delivered, you will see it also under the status. So that's how it works. So primarily, this is what you do during the planning phase of a work order. So you can see also that now you have a cost in your work order. You have a planned cost in your work order. You have a cost for services, the total of €41,000, and a cost for material, which is €6,000. And this cost is coming from the material master data. So because each of these material you added here, there is a cost on this material in the master data of the material. So this is the master data. You can see this is it, 4,000. So the cost is copied from the master data of the material. Also, you need to ensure that this part is filled. And then if you have other objects that you want to maintain at the same time, you can list them here as object list. If you have additional information, you can enter, and then you are good. So this is what happens during the planning phase. This is just what happens during the planning phase of a work order. Any question?
No, it's clear, Mr. Paul.
Okay.
I don't have any.
Okay. So this is where we're going to stop for today. Next time we'll be looking at the next phase of corrective maintenance, which is control phase. So at the end of the day, if you understand all these phases in detail, what is required for every phase, then you can process corrective maintenance successfully. I like to divide this into different, as if they are different topics, because actually this is corrective maintenance. We should be treating this as one topic, but I try to divide it further into smaller units so that it will enhance the comprehension. So understand it phase by phase. The notification phase is just the time where you create a notification, and the planning phase is when you plan the work order with the material, the operations, whether it's internal or external, and so on. So since it's clear, you can play back the video and meet again in our next class. Thank you. So these are just the MM part that I was trying to demonstrate on the side. That's everything that is here. The MM processes that will happen, reservation, and so on. Goods receipts or service entry sheet. All those are the MM processes. So try this exercise on your own. Create your work order. Create an order from a single notification processing. Order type PMO3. Transfer data from notification. Which data has been transferred? Create an order without referencing any maintenance notification. Enter operations for your maintenance order. Use the existing standard text. So you can also enter existing standard text as an operation. Let me show you. Yeah, this is a standard text. Now the essence of standard text is okay. You have already defined some operations in the system, so you simply want users to go and select them. You don't want them to be typing different kinds of operation. Okay, so you have already defined them in the system, and users will just go pick that standard operation. It can also be used to define your operation. So thanks and have a good night rest.
Thank you, Mr. Paul. Thank you.
Yes, I'll send you
Thank
the
you, Mr.
video
Paul.
as
Hello? Hello? Somebody hear me? Hello? Hmm?